Good morning, students. Today we shall continue with what we have left in our first session with the lesson Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Dear students, can you recollect what we had discussed in the last session? Yes, we had discussed about the sequence of events of the inauguration ceremony. So today in this session we shall discuss the efforts put forth by Mandela to reach his destination. On the day of the inauguration, Mandela remembered the days of the past and how apartheid came into being. Here, he mentioned about the Anglo-Boer War. And for your kind information, dear students, the Anglo-Boer War was fought in between 10th October 1899 till 31st May 1902 between the British Empire and two independent Boer states. Here are some of the pictures of the war. Few years after the end of this war, and even before his birth, emerged a system in South Africa, and that is apartheid. So let us see and try to know what apartheid is. Look at these pictures. These pictures speaks volume about what apartheid is. It is in fact a political system that separates the people according to their race, thus resulting in inequality and inferior treatment of dark-skinned people, and they were deprived of their basic fundamental rights. Now, on this occasion of the inauguration ceremony, he remembered those courageous sons of the land and stated that the emancipation of South Africa was the combined efforts of the brave and courageous people. He felt painful that he could not thank them. He was sorry also to think that they were not able to see the sweet result of the bitter sacrifice. Let us see who are these he is trying to mention here. Look at this picture. These were the men, patriots, who sacrificed their life for the freedom of the country. These brave men greatly influenced many others, and many of their lives were reborn in the soil of South Africa. Thus, Mandela rightly stated that it requires such depth of operation to create such height of character. And this was one positive impact of apartheid. There is many brave sons of the soil emerged to fight for freedom, and it was from these comrades that Mandela himself had learned the meaning of courage. So he defined courage as: courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Students, do you agree with this line? Yes, for me, I think it is very correct. All of us have experienced this emotion of fear at one time or the other. Fear is one thing that holds all of us back, and in order to achieve our goal or our destination, we need to win over fear. Then in the next line of the lesson, he talks about hatred and love. He says that people must learn to hate. Why? Because if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to human heart. So he believes that goodness in human beings can be suppressed but can never be eliminated. Next, he talks about man's twin obligations. Let us see what they are. The first obligation is obligation to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children. The second obligation is obligation to his people, his community and his country. But in South Africa, he stated that this remains as mere obligation because in South Africa, a colored man was punished if he tried to fulfill this obligation. He himself was also a victim and had to spend 27 years in prison. Now let us see why Nelson Mandela joined the freedom movement and how the concept of freedom changed as he grew. In his boyhood, he enjoyed full freedom as long as he obeyed his parents and the rules of the custom of his tribe. But soon he learned that his boyhood freedom was just an illusion, not real freedom. He realized his freedom was snatched away long time back. From this point, his hunger for freedom started. At first, as a student, he wanted freedom only for self, to stay out at night, to read what he pleased, and to go where he pleased. Then as he grew up, as a young man, he yearned for the basic and honorable freedoms to earn money, of marrying and having a family. Soon he found out that it was not only him, but his brothers and sisters too were not free. Thus, this led him to join the African National Congress. Lastly, in the last part of the chapter, he talks about the oppressor and the oppressed. An oppressor is a prisoner of hatred and is locked behind the bars of narrow-mindedness. An oppressed person is not free as his freedom is taken away by the oppressor. Both were prisoners in a different way, and so, according to Mandela, both need to be liberated. So, this is all about Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Before we close for the day, some beautiful lines from the great man. It always seems impossible until it's done. Number 1. Number 2, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Number 3, education is the most powerful weapon with which you can use to change the world. So, these beautiful and inspiring lines, I hope it will be helpful for you to move forward with your life. Thank you. That's all for today. Have a great day.